on group, message server will route the request to the, suppose example, this is the message server. So here we have the one dispatcher, here we have the one dispatcher, here we have the dispatcher, here we have the dispatcher. So here, here we have the work process. Each and everything is the work process here. So whenever you are connecting all your logon pads to the ASCS instance, means message server, what the message server will do here? Message server will perform the load distribution. Message server will perform the load distribution, which means it will give the load to the load distribution, which means whenever you are connecting, if you have the multiple application servers are in place, in case multiple application servers are in place, what will happen? It will assign the app servers to the other application servers. Suppose if this application server having heavy load, then in remaining three, this message server will decide. How this will decide? Based upon this response time, message server will decide, will assign the request to the available work process, will assign the request to the available work process here. This way, message server will distribute the load. This way, message server will distribute the load to the available work process here. Okay. So this is the message server, right? So if you have more load are there, then it won't assign. It will assign to the another two. It will assign to the another. So it equally it will distribute the load. That's why if you have more than one application server, example same. We have the one manager, team lead. In the team lead, we have top. This is the manager. He is the team lead. Dispatcher is the team lead. Work process are called the dialogue work process, which means we are means employees. We are the employees. So teammates. Okay. What will happen here? Manager will take the load from the customer, then will give it to the team leads, team leads, team leads, team leads. Then the team lead will distribute the work to the team lead will assign to the respective available consultant, right? The process way same as like here the manager is called the the manager is called the our this person. So in this way your load will be assigned. In this way your load will be assigned to the respective work process. This is the message server here. So in the work process we have the message server we discussed, right? So here the next one is called the gateway work process. Remaining here main important thing are the dialogue update. So we NQ background. So these four are the first four are the important. Remaining all are the, if you know the transaction code, that is well enough, right? You don't require much knowledge on this one. So first four are the important here. Jobs also important for the business, right? Why? Because to run the monthly payrolls and all those things, jobs also very important, right? We have to run automation kind of things. So jobs also very important here. So message server, so NQ, locking mechanism, update, so dialogue, right? Next one is the G for gateway work process. G for gateway, G for gateway work process here. Gateway work process here. What does it mean by gateway work process? What is the transaction code? SMGW gateway. SMMS message server, right? So gateway. What is mean by gateway? So what is use of the gateway person? Like we have the every home or some of the official homes, we have the gateway security person is there, right? Security. So in front of your gate, there is a security person. What is his duties, right? What is his duty? Anyone can chime in here, can jump in here. So what is the security responsibility of the in front of the your house? Okay. So, okay, means whenever any unknown persons or any persons are coming to the your home, that person will stop you and will do the some necessary checks, sanity checks and everything. If you are the authorized person, then only the security person will allow you to come inside of the, right, will allow the inside of the so system, right, inside of the system here, right. So inside of the server or inside of the home. Okay, so that is the one thing here. So same as like here, same as like here. So here in the gateway work process also, it will enables the communication between the work process and external programs, also as well as the between the work process from different instances and systems. So all those things here, it will helpful here. So gateway work process is responsible to, if any connections which is coming to your system, any external devices which are initiate connecting to your system, so the gateway work process will issue the in the SMGW, we can see the all the information, we can see it here in the SMGW, we can see the details. SMGW, we can see the details here, which means the gateway work process will enable the communication between the work process, your SAP work process, and external programs, as well as between the work process from the different instances. Where more application servers are there, if the multiple application servers are there, between the application server communication purpose, it will be used it here. Also, the gateway also performs the RFC services within the SAP. It will perform the services communicating. So process. So all those things, how many connections are initiated, the persons who are authorized connections is deleted. All those, it will validate the connections. Actually, the gateway work process mainly validate the connections to ensure they are authorized before allowing them into the system. The same example, our security guard, right? In front of the home, we are the security person. So normally gate, right? Gate plus security, gateway security. Same as like here. Gateway security is the one of the security work process here, which means this gateway work process validate the connections to the server, inside of the server, to ensure they are authorized before allowing them into the system. It will ensure so they are all authorized person, right? Also, if an authorized connection is detected, the gateway will reject it. The suppose like hacker connections. Why? Because in SAP level, the confidential data, we will store the confidential data, all those things we will store it, right? So financial data, confidential data, our company data, everything we will store it in the SAP level here. So what happens sometimes here? So if your SAP system got hacked, the hacker can theft your financial data. It's very so it's a company violations, right? Thefting the company data means it's a company violations. It's not the good process, right? In that case, here this kind of things, SAP gateway work process, what it will do, it will validate the connections which are to ensure if they are valid authorized persons before allowing them into the system. Also, if an unauthorized connection is detected, the gateway will reject it here. Gateway will reject the connections here, right? So normal security operations, it will perform using the SMGW transaction code. SMGW transaction code. We can see the all the connections here. Normal GW transaction code, we can perform it here. SMGW transaction code. So in case of in case of in case of some rejections, we can see it here. So normally every gateway, there is a connection limit, 2000 connections, right? Every application server, there is a connection limit here, 2000 to 1000. So which means if any connections more than 2000, the 2000 up to, it will handle this application server will handle the up to 2000 connections. But if that more than 2001 is coming, then immediately the gateway will reject it. Why? Because your house capacity is only 2000 here. If the 2001 is coming, immediately it will reject it, right? So that is the reason Here, gateway work process will reject your connections, all your connections, it will reject it. So that is the gateway work process here. Gateway work process, it will reject the connections. In case of if they are not valid, it will reject the connections here. That will happen in the systems here. Okay. So here you can see how many connections are initiated external to the here. Then also suppose if I log in from the different way to here, then how many connections are initiated? The connections list from outside of the server to here, the connections will be issued. The connections will be initiated here. The connections will be initiated here, right? Suppose if I log in with the some outside of the network to the here, so we can see it, it will allow. Why? Because I am the authorized person. So my connections will be allowed here. My connections will be allowed here. In case of if any issues here, in case of any issues, we can check in the Smgw transaction code. There is a trace file here, gateway. We can display the log here. Suppose sometimes we may get the request like, so some other one of the user unable to log into the our system, even though is the connections are getting rejected, so he's unable to log in, which means gateway is rejecting the connection. Normally gateway will allow the all the connection. In case of if you are a valid person, gateway will allow the connections. In case of you are a valid person, gateway will allow the connections here. In case of you are not valid person, gateway will not allow. Even though you are entering the correct password, your connection is entering means, so they are the more security got configured, means external security, more security got configured here. So where to check that more external security here? Here go to expert functions. So these are the parameters actually, which means how many connections we can increase it, the limitations, if we want to change it, we can change it. There is a separate concept, parameter concept. So that time you will get more on the gateway side here, right? So SMGW, go to expert functions. So here external security, there is a maintain the ACL files, access control list. Suppose in case you are created a, in case you created a these rules, this sekinfo reginfo files, your system will be in the dangerous, not your system, you are in the dangerous status. Why? Because it will allow, if you maintain here the controls like, if you maintain the controls like P means permit, TP means user laptops, IP address, all those things. User means star. If you maintain only Ravi user, click save it, only Ravi is only allowed into the SAP system. Once only one person is allowed into the system. Is a server like only one person? Business means all the persons, right? So that's the reason we have to put the star here. Normally, the people won't touch these things here, but because it's a more dangerous settings here. Some customers, about like some banking customers, some other customers, they will put the more security settings here, external security. Why? Because banking servers, you know what will happen, how the say security they will maintain it here, right? In case of, so anytime anywhere they will come to our system, they will enter into our system, they will theft the data, whatever they want they can do it. So that is the reason. So they will allow their laptops also, banking servers laptops also, there is specific IP details, IP we have, and also VPN connections, they will connect it. Also IP, the laptop host name also same. So they will maintain all the security. In that case, if you maintain all the user laptop starts with the, suppose like ABC, then ABC 123, ABC 123, 1443, like that it maintain. Then if you maintain the ABC 143, even we are also unable to log into the system. Why? Because here TP, which means the laptop address is allowed, or desktop address allowed, or device address is allowed, only AB star, means it will starts with the ABC star. Then it will only allow it here. That's why some customers, they won't touch all those things here. Okay. Sekinfo, reginfo files. Reginfo means RFC destinations we will configure it. So this is a more dangerous security settings here. If you are configuring in this security settings here, so that will be a some kind of risk here. That's why So people it won't some people customer they will configure it, some people they will ignore it. That is their responsibility. That's ignore it. But normal security will be performed by the gateway here. Here, as part of your connections, if any connections, any RFC connections, this is the RFC connection, application server to application server. If any connection is disconnection status or connection timed out, we can remove that connection as well here. We can remove the connection here. We can delete the connection from the gateway. We can delete it here. Suppose like this connection, sometimes what happens due to the communication issues or network issues, what will happen? Your connection will be stuck. Then your entry will be stay here only. So if you have the 1,000 connection limited, one connection is already out of the scope, then remaining connections also. So sometimes it will impact it. Sometimes users will initiate, multiple users will connect from the multiple countries, multiple devices, right? Multiple tools, multiple applications will connect it. All those things will be displayed here. In that case, so we have to check the current and maximum limitations. In case of if any connections are not okay, then we can remove that connections. We can remove those connections. We can remove it. If any connection is not okay, we can remove that connections from the SAP systems, right? So that's what we can do it in the systems here. That is called the SAP. So gateway RFC connections here, gateway connections here, gateway connections. Gateway will perform their own security settings and all those things here. Okay. So that is the gateway work process will do that kind of things in the systems. So the next one, some important transaction. Next spool is there. Spool will take time, but before the spool or process, some of the so your NW1 system also is up. NW1 system also is up here. NW1 system also up here. So you can practice the NW1 system also here. Okay. So let me try to access from outside. Yeah, it is accessible. Yeah, I think all are accessible except the cloud connector. Cloud connector is the service which is not accessible. Okay. So the next one here. So some other important transaction codes are called the, so some other usage transaction codes are called the ST22. SM50 we discussed. Work process overview, local work process overview, global work process overview. SM13, what is the use of the SM13? SM14, then SMMS, then SMGW. What is the use of the SM12?
NQ.
NQ locking mechanisms, right? So you should remember all those things here. Yesterday, when I attended one of the interview, they asked these silly questions. What is the use of the dialogue work process? What is the difference between the application server and central services? So what the dispatcher will do, what is the message server will do, right? So this kind of things. What is the where can you see the locking mechanism? What do you understand about the locking mechanisms, right? Can you give the example? Then I told that them, right? So it's one of the one of the company. So there I think it's a product-based company, I think. So they asked these questions. Why? Because support role, they asked these questions, silly questions. These are the things we discussed, right? So locking mechanism. Example, they asked, can you give the one example how the locks works? So suppose when I'm trying to access the one of the transaction code when I'm editing, then so it will be allow only my user to edit it here. Other users can be display the locks. Other users can display the lock entries and all those things here. That will happen, right? So that is what will happen in the systems here. This is what will happen, right? That's what will happen. So same I explained the example. Then next ask for the background jobs. Then he told that how to cancel the long running background jobs. How to check the which work process is occupied for the that each background job. If we go to the job details, that is displayed, right? So this type of questions, whatever we are discussing, so everything, each and every point is important. Why? Because based upon my interview experience, so I'm just telling to everybody, so please concentrate the small things. Then this basic things, if you concentrate, then the remaining further topics you can understand easily. So easily you can understand it. So installation is not a, that does not a matter actually. Why? Because no one asks question. Why? Because how you do the installation. Maybe ask you like what is the port number, what are the softwares, how to check the log. That's it. Why? Because all are the support projects. So that's the reason. Okay. The next one, gateway work process is completed. Next one, ST22, above dumps, above runtime errors. We can check it out in the ST22 transaction code. In the SAP, as part of your work, if you find any dumps in ST22, this is the one of the regular transaction code here. This is one of the our regular transaction code here. Here you can see it here when you click on the here, then we can see what's happening in our SAP systems. Why the dumps are lot of dumps are occurring, lot of dumps are occurring here, right? What is the dumps here? Dump means runtime errors, runtime. When the system is running time, if any program error, syntax error, timeout error, timings errors, so local timeout mismatching error, date mismatch errors, anything, then you will get the dump in the your SAP systems. You will get the dumps in the SAP systems here. It's in the SAP systems here in case of anything wrong, right? So we have to, as a business consultant, we need to check how many dumps are received today, yesterday. Is it critical or not? Is the dumps are repeating? Yes, the dumps are repeating. What is the error message here? So the local time on the application server is not correct. Local time on the application server is not correct, which means the current time in the so application server time zone is not correct. That is the main thing here, right? System time it's a 8:57, 6:57, right? So application server level, the timings are not correct. That is what it is saying here. Let's log into the our application server host here, application server host, and see what is the time zone. What is the time zone? It's mentioned here, right? So application server. This is the app server here. Here, if you see 6:58, actually here in our system, in the Windows-based systems, there is a some issue. Time synchronization is not happening. Automatically, it will update it here, right? So it's not happening. Now it's in the 6:58. Whenever click on the update button here, that is the happened yesterday, it's happened here. So it's fine, right? It's the correct time zone, it's synchronized here. So which means system is okay. System is behaving fine here. So I started the one more of app server as well. Here we can monitor it here, how the system is behaving, how the system is running, and all the information we can monitor it here. The systems related things we can monitor it, how the system is behaving, all the information here, right? All the information we can monitor it here. Sometimes what happens during the starting problem, system will not start. See here, dispatcher it went to the down status here. Dispatcher went to the down status here, which means so there is the some issues I guess here, right? So like that, like that. So if any errors, any issues, we have to fix it out. So yesterday we got the error. Yesterday we got the error, but not today. Means no issues for today. So these errors are not continuously repeating. So we can ignore it. So here as part of the our daily monitoring sheet, so we have the one monitoring checklist. Every day as a basis consultant, you need to perform the monitoring of the our SAP systems and everything here. So here we need to perform the monitoring of the our SAP and all those things here. How means? So using the transaction codes, we have to check here SM50, SM51. In SM51, we can check the active application servers. This is also one of the transaction code SM51, right? So SM51 active application servers, active application servers here, active application servers. So which means how many application servers are active, means how many SAP systems are active for your SID, that will be displayed here, right? So ST22, that's what we discussed, right? ST22 dumps, above dumps, runtime errors. In your system, if any runtime errors are there, that will be displayed, that will be displayed here. Anytime runtime errors are there, so that will be displayed here, runtime errors, right? So suppose like this is a time zone issue, sometimes syntax error, program error, right? In that case, we will inform to the our so development team, functional team, they will take care of. Why? Because syntax means program error, syntax errors, we are not the responsible. So they will take care of that one here. That's why we will inform to them only to fix their issues. We have to inform to them, right? That is the work we have to do it in the systems here, right? So next one is the SM21, SM21 about system logs. Okay, SM21 system log, SM21 system logs. So here we can check the system logs here, right? So for today or yesterday, how the system is behaving, what are the errors here, when was the work process stopped, when was the connection to the message server is established, are there any repeated errors here, are there any critical errors in the system, not today. So I want to check the 2 days back, yesterday's back, so last 1 week back data, I want to retrieve it here. I want to see in the system how the system is behaving. So like see here, so we got the yesterday we have some of the local time zone issues here. Local time zone issues we have, right? Operational mode switches happened. So we have the time zone issue. We have the work process. So see here all the issues we have here. So these critical errors, what are the critical errors? We have to check why this is occurring. Time zone is not issue. So something like that we need to check it out. All the alerts. So this is the system log in our SAP system. In case of if any errors, in case of any errors, so any terminals are disconnected, user sessions are disconnected or anything, user will inform us saying that my terminal sessions are getting disconnected, my sessions are getting disconnected, could you please help? Then in this case, we can go to the here, put the username or put the username which is the user, then check what are the users related error messages we have in the system. Is it whatever he mentioned in the during the particular time, whether the error is occurring or not? So we need to check all the information. We need to check it out here, right? That's what we need to check in the our systems, right? That's what we have to check in our systems here, right? We have to check all the information. We need to check it out here, right? So this is what we need to check whether the systems are so dumps daily we need to go to the ST20 to check are there any repeated errors. Then SM21 we need to check. So if any critical errors are found, we need to check why the error is occurred, what is the reason purpose of that error. So whether we can fix it out or whether it's the program error. So as a terminal error, we can here we will only look the high priority. Priority is the high priority icons. We will check it out here. So low priority we can ignore it here. So if any critical error, suppose like timeout errors, anything, that kind of things, we can fix it out by increasing the parameter value, some other things we can increase it. All those things we can grab the information here. That kind of things we can do it in the systems, right? So that is what. So here transaction cancelled, short dump, runtime error, many things will come here. So we have to check which one is the important and so respective action. See here, delete the session. Connection to the user, basis 1, terminal 6 is lost. When is occurred? 11th at 9 p.m. 7. So the user session, user is basis 1 user, right? Basis 1 user. The terminal is, what is the server? KP jump box server they are using the terminal, right? So what happened? So the terminal is whether it is a GUI connection to is a ECD connection, the terminal has been lost. It's logged off without incorrectly is logged off. Incorrectly is logged off here. That's what it's recorded here, right? So and also the session got deleted. The user session got cancelled. Warning. So like that, you can see all the everything, each and everything in the system. It will be reported. It will be reported. Yeah, US time zone. It will be reported here in the SM21. So everything, for each and everything will be recorded in the SM21 logs here, right? Next one is the SM04. SM04. This is the, see here, SM04, one connection I initiated, some more connections, some more connections, some more connections. It is getting increased, right? So then AL08, all users logged on, all the users list and everything here, right? So then the next one is called the SMGW. GW also we checked it out, gateway connections here. One gateway connection is connected here. Basis user. So remote computer. So basis user, remote computer is connected here. See it, connection is initiated. So okay, fine. Sometimes it disconnected status, right? Then that time, so we need to cancel that connections here, right? So like that, every day we need to log into our systems. We need to monitor. We need to check, are there any failed update records in our system or not? So we need to check, are there any failed update records? No records. What is the status of the update status here? Active, fine. So are there any long running work process in the system? Anything? Nothing is there, fine. So are there any so like that, one by one, every day we need to check it out, the all those things here. Also, so ST22, SM21, then SICK also we discussed in the starting of the T code, consistency check. This is the consistency check transaction code here. Consistency check transaction code here. So everything, each and everything here, we will see it here. Everything we will find out the everything we can record the changes. Any system if you log in, our basis transaction codes are common here. Any system if you log in, our transaction codes are the so common transaction codes here. Our transaction codes are the common here. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So may I know, sir, how to install the parallelly one more application? So because in SMLG you have to create the group, and I don't know how to install the
It's
parallel one more application.
yeah. I will tell you. I will tell you that installation of the additional application server is pending. I remember. I will do that. Today, I will explain you tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow our server will come back. So I will explain it. That one. No problem. So I will explain it. Tomorrow, today, you can practice it on the all the transaction codes, whatever we discussed till now. So additional transaction code ST22, SM21, SM21, ST22, SM51, all the transaction codes you can practice it. So then the programs are report execution, SA38 or SE38, background jobs creation. Since yesterday practical also pending from your side, you can do it for today. Tomorrow Saturday, when we meet it, we'll discuss about the how to install the additional app server. Additional app server. Also, we'll discuss about the our favorite topic like the question and answers are the assessment topics will discuss. That's one we will discuss. Okay. So first we will discuss of the how to install the additional application server. Then we can that time when you install the additional application server, then here we can create the multiple app servers. We can create in multiple groups. We can create it here. So just click on the create the group. Then which application server you want to assign it here. Whatever the group you created, suppose public group, public is pointing to the two application servers. The users will log in via groups only. So this group is pointing to the two app servers. So if one is down, one is active, here we can find out here. So which one is active? So which one is routing the request? What is the response time of the application server? See here, it's very high. So now immediately it fall down to the here. So the response time, all the information we can check it out here in the systems. Right? See here how many users, 9 users are logged into the system production system. So in that background jobs are RFC users, system users. See here how they are doing, what they are doing, how much memory they are using. All the information will be recorded here. Okay. So this is what we need to check it out in the systems here. Okay.
And one more question related to background system.
Yeah.
In the SM37, we have to see the status of the log. So
Right.
there we can like if the status is on hold. So what is the meaning of that?
Yeah. Hold means hold. So why
Yeah,
your call is hold? Suppose even when you call to your friend, he will put on your hold, then he will speak to the other person, right? Hold.
yeah. He
Hold
might
means
be busy with other work or somewhere.
right. Exactly. Hold means the work process is waiting for others to complete it, or is it busy with the some other task to complete it or something. Meaning means hold means it's a hold. Your request is on hold. Why? Because some dependency task or some other person is waiting for that one only. That is the purpose. So your request is on hold status for some time. Then immediately